All right. So let's see. To kind of start off, kind of just tell us like who you are and where you're from and how long you've been trading.
So I'm from the Houston, Texas area. I've been trading, I guess about 6 years now. Forex probably four. I got seven children. That's what kind of got me into trading. Is
Nice.
I do like my day job. This wasn't an income replacement. This was a how do you put seven kids through college, buy them vehicles, and I had rental houses at one point in time. They take up a lot of work, and this was something you could do from your phone or from your desktop. And so I've always been fascinated with it. I've watched it a long time. I invested a lot over time, but it's not really trading. You're letting a broker kind of work it and things like that. So this became very active for me and became very passionate about it. So it's a hobby that I said to my wife has got kind of gotten out of control because I love doing it so often.
Honestly, that's
And,
like the best thing to get out of control with, though, at least.
yeah, and it's something I'm very careful with. I actually began trading with my own money for the longest time, so I didn't learn about prop firms until I want to say 2023, and then might have been like right about the time there was an MetaTrader pretty much got banned from the U.S. Whatever that it was like a January. That's about when I found it and I started, and it all went bad because you couldn't access it, and some of the firms went under. So I kind of backed away with it and just went back to my own trading. And so then it seemed like some other platforms came on. I got to where I really liked TradeLocker better than even like MetaTrader, and so I started seeking for firms that had TradeLocker as an option. It's kind of how I found Funded Elite was when they had Trade Locker available. It
Okay, so
was
like through those like review sites like Prop Firm Match and all that stuff.
Prop Firm Match
Yep.
predominantly and
Yep.
Trust Pilot, and then that's where I started investigating them. That's how I found them. So
Nice. Love that. Now, would you say like seven kids is a lot? It's I respect that. It's yeah,
all
it's a
mine.
lot. Knowing how bratty I was as a kid too, like I'm sure you're going through a lot. So would you say like your children was like the changing point for you? Like this is why you got into it? And I'm assuming, I mean, you did answer that question before, but kind of getting more deep into it. Like what
So
was the turning point? Hmm.
well, and I mean I've had we had this my seventh child is 6 years old and I'm 50. So it's not the screen showing the gray and the white. It's
Yeah.
that's my oldest is 25. So it kind of got to income from work is about, and my wife stays at home, and my company takes very good care of me, but they can't pay you enough to be able to cover all these things. So yeah, that's what became my central point of I need to earn, income on top of what I make here and in a way that I can still perform my day job. I think Forex provided that because I don't sleep a lot. I sleep maybe 4 to 6 hours a night. So
I
it's like
that's 6 hours is still good.
yeah. And I'm an early riser, so it allows me to hit, some of the early morning times,
Yeah.
and some of the later evening times. Throughout the middle of the day, I'll trade the New York session at times if it's I got some autonomy in my schedule if I got a quiet time, but I hate getting interrupted in the middle of because trading is typically, I don't know, in my mind it comes up to about 70% study, 30% actual placing, a
Yeah.
trade. So there's setups and order flow, resistance, and things that you're just looking for. Watching news, things that are going to influence those decisions, and those certain times of hours a day where you're trying to make a safe setup. That's I look for that more than I do say, oh, that's a big one. I can do that because then that's usually when you're wrong.
Yep. Now you said you're trying to, sometimes trading early morning riser, trading in the mornings, everything like that. Can you explain like your strategy just in simple terms, just so whoever's watching could kind of get like a little feel of like, individual traders, how they trade, all that stuff.
It's a it's really not rocket science. It's
Exactly. Yeah.
I TradeView is my favorite, which relates into TradeLocker real easy. And so I follow 50-day SMA. I have some indicators that over time I've researched and purchased that go into TradeView to help you kind of bring together order flow, support and resistance and it gives you a good opinion to when you're trying to decide if and I trade a lot of gold, and I don't like to short gold. Gold is typically it's been so bullish for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
A typical will just wait, and then every now and again I can see it really pushing up on a resistance, but support resistance is where I typically will enter. Probably more unusual in a lot of trades. I go in with very small sizing. I rarely will even do one lot. It's mostly going to be a 0.2 to a 0.8 range of lots, depending on my confidence, how much studying, how much I've watched, what news is going on. Looking at, am I hitting monthly resistance supports, weekly, daily? Also, where the next line is going, next resistance line is coming, will help me determine that. Because that way it allows me to scale. I can, if I use a smaller lot size in case I'm off, 10 pips or so, and then allows me to take, smaller losses. The more you protect your capital, the longer you can trade. And
Exactly.
I trade the prop firm account just like I trade my personal account. I kind of rotate them.
Yep.
Like today, I'm trading that one. Today, I trade my personal account, and I don't do anything different from one to the next. It's really about the simplest thing I could tell somebody. It won't make you rich, but it will keep you profitable, and it will keep you from massive drawdowns. It will psychology is everything when it comes to this. A
Yeah.
$300 win is better than any loss whatsoever. $2,000 or $3,000 losses just stun you. I mean, you absolutely, and then you get into a lot of revenge mode and overconfidence in the next place, and I got to win this back. And if you have a loss, like gold's gotten kind of erratic. Actually, I had a set of trade the other day, and I was kind of targeting my stop loss, and the bottom fell out. It's like whoa, like that's just flushed. Market just flushed, and that's usually against one of my rules. Almost always before I enter the trade, put that in immediately. But I hadn't finished researching it. I really felt confident. It was really bounced off support. It just flushed through all my target areas. So I set up alerts on TradeView for what hits, and it was hitting on my second alert. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. This is gonna bounce, and it just flushed.
Wow.
So it was, but because I only went in with point 0.3 lots, it wasn't crushing.
Yeah.
When I closed it out, so that was
Risk management, all that.
yeah. So it was a $1,200 loss versus my typical loss, but I mean you can recover that. It's like psychologically, it's easier to
Yep.
recover from that than setting up a 2 or 3 lot order trying to hit a short gain of $2,000 or $3,000. More times than not, you're going to lose those because you won't handle the emotion, especially if you're I mean, I really only manually trade. I don't really use. I've tried algorithms in the past with other firms. I don't unless you can build it yourself. It's just not worth trying it. And so I
Yeah.
enjoy studying it and setting the trade. It's tracking my win rate and things like that. So that's what I look for is small wins. If it takes me 10 trades to get to $2,000 or $3,000, I'm okay with that. I got patience
Yeah.
for it.
I mean, yeah, you for sure got patience for it. Now, would you say like it's fun to delete your first prop firm you've ever worked with? And are we like your first ever payout that you got?
Nope. Not the first. Probably say fun is in the middle of where of the journey of trading. Not my first payout because I've traded them all the same. I learned how to use DX Trade. DX Trade was one of the first things that other prop firms started linking to. Um, so I just don't like DX Trade. It's just, I mean, I can use it, but it's just the charts are clunky. The entry pending order parts, trying to, it's just clunky. It's a clunky deal. Match trade, not a whole lot better. It was probably a year or so later before I started seeing anybody with Trade Locker. And y'all were the first ones I saw that had Trade Locker. So I had a demo account with Trade Locker for a while, and I really liked it. I was like, man, why don't more people hook up to this one? It works like TradingView. It's just
Yeah.
so much simpler. So when I saw it, I think I failed my first 2 challenges, but then y'all had a 300K challenge that I was very careful with because I was like, I don't trade it like a $300,000 account. I trade it like I do my personal account,
Right.
but
Yeah,
it
as you always
allows
should.
more. It allows more bandwidth with it. So, but I've had very little drawdown in that account since I've had it because I traded was again with point 0.3 to, I think the highest I may have ever taken on it is a point 0.8. I just don't go any higher than that. And I'm not looking for, if it's so rare, I'm even going to have $1,000 win because it's just, I'm not, when you trade in small lots, I'm not trying to hit the top of the resistance line. I'm not trying to, and if I hit a win, very rarely will I enter again that day. Sometimes I will because it's just really set up well. Catch it in a range mode, and again, I might do 0.1 lot, 0.2 lot. If I already hit a 0.3 lot win, I might drop down to 0.1 lot on the next trade, just because there's no reason to over risk. You already got a win. No reason to start multiplying risk when you've already got some wins.
Yep, minimize it as much as possible. Which challenge was this by chance? Was it the flash, the standard, or the instant? From if
No,
you
it
recall.
was a one step.
Okay.
It was a one step
Okay. Yeah,
challenge.
because I know we have the $5 flash activation challenge. Um, that one is literally just $5, and that's what attracted a lot of people. I mean, that's really been like our big hitter. So I was just
Okay.
seeing if you knew anything about that. Yeah.
No, I
Um,
hadn't. I
mhm.
saw that one. I've had it for 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've had I think 4 payouts, if I'm not mistaken. So as you can see, if I hit a payout once a month, and it offered weekly payouts, and I'm like, well,
Mhm.
that's tough to get to, because you got. I mean, I don't trade every day, and I
Yeah.
haven't traded the last couple of days because gold flushed the other day, and a lot of U.S. news. I know the account allows to trade through news, but I don't trade through news. And I don't wait 10 minutes before or after. I usually am looking different times of the day when there's less news. And if I don't have a good setup, I just won't trade. Today, it's not hitting anywhere near my resistance and support zones. Just not a good area. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
No,
got an
as you
inconsistent
should.
trend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just today I'll sit it out. We'll check it again Sunday evening when the market's open, and if nothing materializes, then we'll check Sunday morning. And so that's what I say. 70% of the time, you're going to look, research, stick to your internal rules, trade with how much can I lose mentality. And that's a tough mentality to develop.
Yeah.
But if you trade that way, you will win more. I mean, I've got about a 71% win rate. It probably looks different on Funded Leap because I track all my personal account and everything on my own.
Right.
But I write down every trade I make and track every win or loss. And a win's a win and a loss is a loss. So it's you don't track the dollars with it. I
Yep.
don't. I know there's others that do. I've watched some other people that really go for 1 to 1.5, 1 to 1 to 2, and I just didn't ever have the same success with that. I look at it more from can I scale in? Am I at a good resistance line? Is it trending up? Is it trending down? Following. I like to follow trends. Stuff. That's gold typically is going up, but when it flushes, be very cautious because it'll get you quick.
Yep. 100%. Now, if you don't mind me asking, can you walk us through like your first payout with us at least? Like, how did it feel? I mean, compared to like, all those people being like, am I really going to get paid out? Am I going to get scammed? Am I actually, all that stuff? Because there's a lot of beginners
Uh,
out there who are very, very, very scared. But I mean, even with trading too, they're super scared. So,
yeah. I mean, what's really cool about you guys is y'all reimburse the challenge fee right away.
yeah.
So that's a great feeling whenever you realize you've recovered your challenge fee and you're trading and they're doing payouts. So the first one was a recovery of the challenge fee. I kind of forgot about that, to be honest. Whenever that happened, I did have a lot of confidence in Funded Elite. They got strict rules. I
Yeah.
respect any company that's got strict rules that's going to stay in business. I'd rather you have strict rules and be here for the long haul than because the rules aren't. I think of it as like if you work at a business that gives you an entrepreneurial spirit, they may give you like things you need to do in a day. And you're like, well, if I own my own business, I wouldn't do that. Well, you also may not stay in business if you do your own business. So rules are in place and they give you advice to do these things so that you don't crush yourself, and you can
Absolutely.
actually win. And so I respected that. And really the rules that are strict are not, they're not like make it hard to trade by any means. So
Right.
it's not so that's why I liked it. It's one of the most flexible firms I've come across. So and then getting that payout, and when you get the second one. But there was a lot of, when you read through reviews, and I read through a lot of reviews,
Right.
the ones that are complaining because they're doing those things I was saying don't do.
Rules
And
too strict, and then they don't
yeah,
follow their own rules and they
well,
fail.
I mean, if you're gonna yellow it, I mean, nobody wants to do business with somebody doing that, and nobody
No.
wants to do business with somebody trying to manipulate. I mean, it's real money. I mean, to me, I mean, it's real money I tell you, when you hit your crypto account. So that payout, when it comes, it hits. I mean, that's
It's a
a
good
real
feeling.
feeling. That's a
Yeah.
real good deal. And then when you get, like you said, your fourth one, you really feel like you got a part. I think I've got four. You really start to feel like a partner with them, and I mean, you can do this month in and month out, and set yourself with reasonable goals. I just try to get one payout a month. I know I have access to it more often. Y'all always consistent with, as soon as you submit a payment, there's some checking, and then they pay it out, and so it's not a bumpy, clunky process by any means, and so and they have super fast response when you have a question. I mean,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I can see an email at 9 o'clock. I don't know if they don't sleep, just because. I mean, I'm expecting to send the email and check it in the morning, and before I get it from my laptop, the question's answered. And so that part's impressive. I just had a lot of confidence when I got the payout, when I see the response on the questions, and the consistency and the message that's always being sent. So you just stop worrying about uh, that, and when you get to a point where you want to request a payout, you can do it. Like I said, that this particular account allows it weekly, but I really shoot for monthly because I may not trade every day. I think I need to make 5 trades anyway,
Yeah.
which is fine. But I don't want to rush myself if there's only one day that week that's a good trading day. I mean, a couple weeks ago when U.S. interest rates came out, I think I traded Monday, and that was it.
Yeah.
The interest rate when FOMC or non-farm payroll, I mean, I may stay away for 2 or 3 days because it takes a while for it to settle out. And if it's just jumping around like crazy, then best thing is close your laptop down, go do something else. Because
Amen to that.
you're gonna just get in trouble. You're gonna lose.
Lose all your money. You're gonna
Yeah.
fail. 100%. So would you recommend like our firm to like beginners, more vets? Like who would you really like from personal experience, like just all on you, like who would you recommend this to and why?
I'm not trying to sound like a commercial. I really think a
No, no, no.
beginner
Yeah.
would figure out this real quick. This is an easy
Hmm.
firm to understand. Using Trade Locker is the simplest trading platform there is for a veteran who's used to having to trade around. I mean, look, not a lot of real strict consistencies. I mean, the things that you're having to trade around that they don't have here, allowing you to scale in, and then all those are for a veteran who's gotten used to trading. I mean, it's super simple. So for both beginners and veterans, I would tell you it's a good firm, and it's good because I feel like every answer and question has been an honest answer. Whether you want to hear that answer or not, it's an
Yeah.
honest, and I can understand their point of view. Like if I didn't quite understand something. And I
Right.
appreciate that more than I lip service because there's unfortunately I've been scammed by several prop firms, and that's I've traded the same way since I started trading, and whenever somebody tells you you're group trading, I'm like, I don't know anybody. I mean, I don't sit around in discords, and I mean, I wouldn't even know if people were doing that. And then I've had some prop firms accuse me of that, and I'm like, what? I was like,
You shouldn't even be trading with anybody. That messes up your mojo.
exact. Well, that, and yeah, and is if you study it, you're never gonna come to the same conclusion and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I do talk with other traders, but we have a conversation about things in markets in general, not specifically.
Right.
And I've recommended Fund Delete multiple times, just because somebody will ask me, "Have you ever gotten a payout?" And I think the last time somebody asked me, I'm like, "I think I'm on my third one," and they're like, "Well, I hear they don't pay out," and I'm like, I haven't had a bad experience with it, so
Okay.
that's
That's
all I
good.
tell them. Best thing I can say, it's and even when y'all asked for the interview, I'm happy to talk about a good firm. I'm also happy to tell somebody when a firm's not good. I won't publicly do it,
Yes.
but if somebody asks
Yes.
me, I will tell somebody, "Hey, this firm did not pay out. I traded it manual. I mean, I did it all the way. I've always done it, and they didn't pay. They came up with some reason why not to pay, and then they ban you,
Yeah.
you're going to come back anyway."
Well, I mean, Richard, if you have any harsh feedback for us, please don't even be afraid to tell us publicly because we will fix it too.
Yeah,
Because it's that's how you improve as a business as well. You got to build culture around it. You got to build quality. that's how you do it. It's just purely feedback and just purely refining, always like evolution in general.
The
Um,
only the only thing I would tell y'all is
yeah,
the payout process when you submit to getting paid is slower than I've seen with other firms.
yeah,
But other than that, I really couldn't tell you anything that's. I mean, it's a comfortable trading environment.
I'll take it.
It's
Yeah,
in my opinion, out of any firm I've traded with, probably the fastest in response for questions, and that's important because people don't realize if you don't have that, you don't know. I mean, it's helpful because sometimes you just didn't quite understand why something was done a certain way, or you get a question on the challenge that you're doing, or whatever it is, and when you have somebody immediately answer your question, I mean, almost 95% of the time, it just shows validity in the company. So it's
right.
they got people there. They care about what it is. And I would also tell the naysayers that talk about the strict rules. I'm like, you should look for businesses that have strict rules, prop firms that have strict rules, because they're going to be solvent,
Yeah,
and that part's important for the long term.
exactly. Now, I have one last question for you. I mean, you pretty much answered it throughout this whole entire, interview, but just to help out, just the newbies, the beginners out there, in trading, I mean, to kind of condense it down to like maybe a short list of things, and advice, like what advice would you give to, just beginner traders out there, that are doing, just anything really? It doesn't have to be with our firm. It could just be in general.
Have a mindset to when you place a trade, think about how much can I lose before you think about how much you can win. It's a very
Risk.
important
Yep.
mindset. Risk. Trade small lots. Trade to make an income. Don't trade like you're going to win the lottery every trade. That's the two smallest pieces of advice. Educate yourself. It doesn't. There's not a whole lot you have to watch. You just have to accept your losses. Treat it like a baseball season. In 162 games, even the best teams don't win. 100, games. So there's going to be
Yep.
losses in that. So and if you know your strategy is a certain risk to reward, or if you know you're tracking a win rate, stick to that strategy. Don't fall back on it. Probably the last thing is be aware of the surrounding market environment, news, what's going on at that time of the day, that time of the week, and be aware of that because that will have immediate effects on it. And hey, it's okay not to trade today. You got to tell yourself that.
Amen. Yep. Exactly. I feel that. Awesome. Well,
That's,
I appreciate you. Yeah, it's funny because like as soon as you said baseball, it came to my mind. I'm like, oh shoot, I have a event coming up. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with the Angels team,
oh
at the
yeah,
Angel Stadium. Yep, Angel Stadium. There's like they're having like a little the Savannah Banana game or
yep,
something like that. I'm actually going to that for the first time, so I'm pretty stoked for their banana beers and all that stuff.
yep. And I'm a big Astros fan, so I'm
Love
a
it.
big baseball fan.
Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Awesome. Well, hey, Richard, I appreciate your time. I wish you the best of luck, obviously, with trading. Oh my gosh, and the 7 kids. I mean, I'm sure they're all beautiful kids. So I'm and the family. I'm sure you have a very beautiful family. So
Yep.
I do
Thank you.
wish you that consistent success to where you could actually support their college, support, the food, put food on the table as well. So, you
It's
know.
working right now, so we'll
Mhm.
keep with the same strategy, and we'll be all right. All
Awesome. I love it. Well, have a nice day. I'm gonna go
right.
ahead and end this recording.
Sounds good. Thanks, Ethan.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Richard. Have a
Thanks,
nice
pal.
day.
We'll see you. Bye bye.
Bye.